What's up, guys? Kurt Stubbs here with Ohio High School Hoops. Follow us on X at OhioHS Hoops. Follow us on the gram. And be sure to like, share, subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can find all of the tournament content that we have been providing. Earlier this week, we had Division 6 and Division 5. Separate breakdowns on each. Last week we had Division 4, and prior to that we did Division 1, 2, and 3 all together. So please, if you haven't seen those, make sure you go back and check those out. Today we will do the final division, Division 7. So let's take a look at Division 7. Let's start in Region 25. The Barberton High School region. 3 teams listed here as contenders: Warren, JFK, Cornerstone Christian, and Hillsdale. So I think it would be a great matchup. Warren, JFK, led by Nick Ryan. Cornerstone Christian, led by Quinn Kwasniak. I think that would be a very entertaining game. 2 teams that have played a really good schedule for a Division 7 school. And then, kind of on the sneaky side here, Hillsdale could, this is a team, this is a school that played for the Division 7 state football championship. Finished state runner-up. They've played strong league competition with Creston Norwayne and Smithville. So 4 of their losses came in those games. So keep an eye on Hillsdale, but Warren, JFK, and Cornerstone Christian, I think, are your clear favorites here. All right, possible bracket busters here at Barberton. We got the Fairpoint Harding, the Skippers, and Norwalk St. Paul. Steve Miner's done a really good job taking over there at St. Paul. He's got this team at 17-5. All right, let's look at Division 7, Region 26, the Elida High School region. 2 teams out of the Midwest Athletic Conference here. We got Delphi St. John's and the Minster Wildcats. I think that this region will come down to one of those 2 teams. But with that being said, man, I think that those 2 teams are the 2 best teams overall in the region. But boy, you've got a lot of depth in this region. You got Old Fort, you got Kalida, you got Fort Jennings, you have Miller City, Arlington, Ottoville, and Tiffin Calvert. So you got 7 teams really padding the depth of this region. A lot of these teams out of that Putnam County League. You have Old Fort and Tiffin Calvert out of the Sandusky Bay Conference, and Arlington out of the Blanchard Valley Conference. But I just think that there's a lot of depth in this region. It's going to be some really interesting matchups in this region. All right, Division 7, Region 27, Ohio Dominican region. This is, if you're ranking the regions, Region 27 would probably be 28th as far as deepest or just overall talent in the region. Not a real strong region. I think South Webster is a heavy favorite here, but I also added Leesburg, Fairfield. They've had some recent success the last 2 to 3 years, so pretty solid year for them again, the Lions. But I think South Webster is a clear favorite here. Some teams that I would like to mention, just making for some really competitive games. You got Steubenville Catholic, Central, Zanesville Bishop Rosecrans, Patriot Prep, Portsmouth Notre Dame, Newark Catholic, Strasburg, Latham Western. You have Morrill Ridgedale, and you have Racine Southern. So again, another division, another region where there's going to be a decent amount of competition. I think a lot of these teams listed here are very equal. And you could probably even throw Leesburg Fairfield on this slide as well. But I just think that South Webster is head and shoulders above the field in this region. All right, Division 7, Region 28. I have Russia listed here, man. 22-0. They've just been flat out dominant all year. The only thing that I would say here, that I'd be cautious of if I was Russia, is when you look at 3 teams in this region listed here. Fort Laramie is playing really good basketball at the end of the season. Botkins, who's played Russia twice. Jackson Center, who's played Russia twice. Fort Laramie's also played Russia twice. All in that Shelby County Athletic League. So that would be the one thing that would make me a little leery here if I'm a Russia's Raiders fan. But I think that they'll get out of here. But, they're going to have to see probably at least one of those teams a third time. So that's always tricky, especially when it's a conference opponent. Also, Springfield Emmanuel Christian and Franklin Monroe are 2 other teams listed here in the Bracket Busters section. So that is Division 7, Region 28. Let's look at, here are the teams I think can win the state in Division 7. The 2 teams out of 26, Delphos St. John's and Minster, and then Russia here in 28. I think the state title goes to one of these 3 teams. Minster's the one that, not a lot of people have been talking about them this year, but those that know that this is a very good team. I think they're 14-8 on the year. It's the team that made a pretty deep football run, ran into Delphos St. John's. Really the only team in football this year that could compete with Delphos St. John's. And if you take the only team in football that could compete with Maria Stein Marion Local was Minster, and you take them out of the playoffs in football, and Minster would have won the Division 7 state title in football going away as well. But 14-8, really tough schedule. Slow start, obviously, with the football, but they got a guy. They've got a lot of guys, but they've got a big guy in the paint, Cole Albers, that just could be a real problem for people in the tournament. So I think like I said, one of these 3 teams I think is your Division 7 state champion. So, all right, that wraps up our tournament brackets breakdown. Hope you guys have enjoyed this. Like I said, I think it was the last episode. Mike, TJ, and I are going to have a reunion show. I think we're going to record on Monday to talk a little bit more tournament action, so be on the lookout for that.